Hello everybody and welcome back to your computer science tutorial. This is section 2 video 5, and today we're gonna be creating a wolf. And it's not going to be an overly polished wolf, but it'll be a wolf nonetheless. So the first thing you need to know is that I'm gonna show you guys how to import a model. I have the model. I'm going to post it up so you can get that from online. And to make this wolf more interesting, we're going to make it so that, if you remember our follow script from last tutorial, we're going to make it use sine and cosine to travel in like a circle around the player. That's going to be a lot of fun. So first, here's what this is the package your model is going to come in. You can just highlight all of those and open up Unity. Okay, so in Unity, I've already made a models folder under assets. So this is just a spot where we could store everything that relates to like models. And I'm going to make another folder inside of this, and we're going to call this folder, let's call it wolf. Actually, it's not really a wolf model, it's like a dog model. But let's go with that. And then all you got to do is you highlight all of these things inside and just drag them in. Here's our plane. Let's see. Inside this first cube, you can disable the follow script because we don't really want that there. And this is your dog model, so you can drag that right in, and you're gonna notice something really strange. You're like, wait a minute, it didn't appear. Oh wait, it's huge. So this tends to happen with most models. They tend to be on a massive scale because the 3D development environment that they're using to create models in is at a different scale than Unity. Very simply, you could just click the middle thing and shrink it. Take an estimate. I think I actually just turned it upside down with negatives. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's our little dog model. Let's lower him down. Too low. Oh, and yes, if you're wondering what if you do 3D modeling, Unity supports a lot of different model types, but the basic ones are .object, .blend, and .fbx. I included .blend is not really too typical in like professional games. I just include that because it's a free to make software called Blender. You can make them on, which is really nice. But moving on, let's add the follow script to our dog. And if we open up our dog hierarchy, so you see we have our dog object in here, but if you look in the scene, he's all white, and that's not all right. I made that rhyme. So just click on the dog hierarchy, open it up, and open up the first mesh. Okay, so a mesh. A mesh is like, you see all these blue lines? That's it creates the object around. So like that mesh shows what's going to be visual to a person. And this is a low poly count mesh. What that means is that if you look, if I get in real close, you see it's divided into a lot of different triangles. And that's all a mesh is. It's just a bunch of different triangles arranged in a specific way to create like a dog. Okay, so in this first mesh, you might have to play around if you selected the wrong one. But all you gotta do is you just gotta drag the appropriate mesh in. Which I think my meshes actually got a little messed up. Did they? They did, okay. Well, this looks like it's a dog, so this is gonna go on the body of the dog, I'm guessing. I'm not a professional modeler, so this is the best I can do. And then I think it's a blue tail, but let's check it out. You have like a blue wolf, more like pretty tail. But nah. Let's do it the I think this is the hair model. And there's our dog. Nice little simple dog. I'm sure it has some type of animations and stuff. Oh, actually, Here is the mesh. I just found them. They're inside the materials folder. I think they're the same thing though. You know what? I'm not good at this. At this part of Unity, I don't do well with graphics. But yeah, so just do what I just did, and let's set the object that the dog's going to follow as this little cube right here. I just set it to this cube. And let's go to our script, because now we have to add that functionality. So we said what we wanted to do was make it travel in a circle around the player. We didn't really express how it's going to travel or how fast, but it's going to travel in a circle. So if you've ever talked about circles in math class, you know that circles all have a radius, and that radius can be a decimal too, so it's going to be of type float. Circles deal with pi, and pi is related to radians. Now, I don't expect you to really know what pi or radians are, so I'm just gonna write, not rate of speed, rate of change, and we're gonna relate that to being a float value, and it's going to equal math, capitals, oh my gosh, math f dot, you'll see this is a class. The math f class is the native class in Unity that supports basically all your mathematics, and just type in pi, and we're gonna multiply that by 2 because there's 2 pi for every circle, and we're gonna say that this value right here, we want to travel around the circle in 5 seconds, hopefully. And we'll set a base radius of 5. And what else do we need? We have our radius. We need an angle, because what we're going to do is we're going to calculate from an angle using rate of change, and that's going to allow us to travel in the circle. It's not going to be a precise science. It's going to be a funny science. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So let's make an angle variable, and we'll also save that as a float. So the first thing we need to do is we need to figure out when our circle begins. Now we have this lovely thing called radius, and we also have a distance to the object. So instead of checking by an arbitrary 5, we can check by the radius. So this will say if it's not within the radius of like the circle, then you want to get closer to it. But if it is in the radius, so less than or equal to, if distance, not radius, is less than or equal to radius, and for this you can use an else if or an if. I'm just going to use an if. Both have the same functionality. So now we're inside the radius of the circle. So now we need to travel in that circle. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure our angle is being updated, and our angle is going to equal, you're actually adding onto the angle every time. Angle is going to equal rate of change times times time, times time dot delta time, just like above. Now time dot delta, in case I wasn't very specific on what it was, that's the amount of frames your computer's going through every second. Again, I'm pretty sure it gave me a little trouble last time. But yeah, just multiply that, and because of order of operations, it's gonna solve this side first and then add the sum of these two to angle. And delta time is gonna be a really small number, like really small. So it's not a big number, it's a small number. And whenever you time something small or something big by something small, you get something about average size. And that's how angle is supposed to change. Now, angle is also in angle is in radians right now, and I'm assuming, I've taken math classes. I'm bad with radians, so I'm assuming you're probably bad with them also. And basically what radians are, it's a number between 0, oh, okay, so 0 to 360 degrees is equivalent from 0 to 2 pi radians. I'm just using R for now. And so it's a number between about 0 and 6.28. That's what a radian is. Oh, that's not what a radian is, but that's a range of a circle. So we use the okay, so now moving on. We're changing the position of the wolf, and position.x. So right now we're going to affect the x position, and we want the x position to equal mathf dot cosine cosine angle, and this is either going to work the first try or I confused the two and it's going to look kind of funny. Then the radius, and then you want to add in the target's position dot x. Oh my gosh. Make sure you add this in. I was forgetting to do this earlier on something else I was doing, and it just wouldn't look right. It was very confusing what was going on. But yes, okay. And then we also need to edit the z coordinate, because remember, y coordinate is up and down. Z is the other axis perpendicular to the x. And once again, mathf dot sine instead though, and we're substituting in the same angle variable, and we're going to multiply that by radius, and we're going to add target dot transform dot position dot z, and I think you noticed the error above as well. Dot z. Now we're gonna do position, and then we're gonna do local position, because we might get I didn't test that out earlier, but we might get a different effect by local position. So here's our script so far, and this should be everything. And if we run it, or if we save it, then we have an error. I missed a semicolon. Yes, when I fixed it. So add the semicolon if you missed it. And I can't spell. I wrote target. So target. And any other errors? Dude, this Unity's just making me look bad today. I wrote transform. Needs to be transform. Save that. And okay, I don't look any worse. And if we look in our scene, dog's getting closer and closer, and it might do a little jump right about now. And something bad happened. Okay, this probably means that we used cosine and sine wrong. Let's see. So let's switch the signs. I'm not very good with math equations, at least trig math equations. I hope I didn't get the formula wrong. I might have to pause the video to figure that out if this doesn't work. So the dog's approaching. That looks like something else is wrong. That doesn't look like I have the equation wrong. I added z twice. That's why it didn't look right. So, fix that. And if you're wondering like why I'm not coding perfectly, it's pretty late right now. But if it gets close enough, and there we go. Goes in a circle. And if we move our cube now, let's make this dog. This is a very slow dog. You see, it kind of jumps. So it might jump around the circle. This is because how we programmed it. Yeah, like that. That's a big jump there. Because how we programmed it was that we made angle very arbitrary. I could show you how to find its position in the unit circle, and then from there you could substitute an angle in that was accurate, but that seems a little harder. So we're not going to do that. Instead, enjoy your lovely puppy, because now he'll follow you and do a weird circle around you, and you can't get any closer to him because it just doesn't want to happen. And also, if you want to make your dog rotate a little closer, just reduce the radius to 4, then 3, then 2. The closer you get, the faster he should start rotating around, I'm pretty sure. No, he just does that weird motion. But there's your dog. And I'll see you guys next time.